Well, I've decided to build an indoor cigar smoking room here in my house as a way to enjoy my cigars without having to deal with the outdoor freezing weather or the brutal summer heat here in Texas. So in this video, I'm going to show you the setup that I'll be going with, as well as a few plans that I have for my smoking room. Today, I'm gonna be enjoying the Yagua. This is a first time for me smoking this cigar. I just love the unique design and look to this. And for those of you who don't know, the Yagua is a J.C. Newman cigar. This is a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper along the outside with Nicaraguan binder and filler. And what's really cool is they take a Cuban, what's called a royal palm leaf, and they wrap around a bundle of 20 of these sticks while they're still wet and pliable, and then they cure them. And so each cigar gets this really unique shape to it. I just think that's really awesome. It's nothing I've ever seen before, and I have heard good things about the cigar. So this is what I'll be smoking today, but unfortunately, I'll be having to do this outside because I don't have my smoking room ready just yet. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dave, and I produce content revolving around my favorite hobbies, watches, cigars, and occasionally some tactical stuff. So consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. So the first step of what I wanted to tackle with my smoking room is filtration. I'll do this with a combination of smoke filtration while I'm smoking, but also with the air purification afterwards. So the weapon of choice for me is the A3 by Rabbit Air. This unit does both air filtration during smoking, but also handles air purification and odor elimination after a smoking session. Now, I'm lucky that I have a very special relationship with a local cigar lounge in my area, so with their permission, I was able to place this brand new Rabbit A3 unit in their front lounge area, which sees a really good amount of smoking throughout the day, every single day of the week. So I felt this was a great test to see how this unit can hold up to a high amount of constant smoke. Now, after a couple of weeks of leaving this unit running in the shop, I went back to check up on the filters. And as you can imagine, they looked pretty dirty, but that meant that it's doing its job and doing it well. The pre-filter was covered with dust and dirt, as was the medium filter, turning from white to brown as you see here. The activated carbon charcoal filter had a light layer of dust on it as well, and each of these filters was able to be cleaned off with a quick vacuum cleaning. Now, the Bio-GS filter could not be vacuumed since these particles are too small to see and are trapped deep into the HEPA filter itself, but I could tell by the discoloration that it's been effective in trapping a lot of particles over time. This particular A3 filter has the odor remover filter option, but there are also options for germ defense, pet allergens, or toxin absorption. So for my cigar smoking needs, the odor removal option was the right one for me. Now, you may be asking yourself, how well did this actually perform in a cigar shop? Well, the feedback that I received from the workers there was that it is very quiet, often inaudible when there was a lot of people in the lobby, but even when running at a higher fan speed, it was not overly loud or distracting. They also mentioned that it was very obvious when near the unit that it was pulling smoke towards the Rabbit Air filters. When leaving a cigar on an ashtray on the counter, for example, they mentioned that the smoke would drift to the side where the Rabbit Air was running, instead of rising straight up as you would normally see with a cigar. So this tells me that the unit is really efficient at working in smaller spaces. And while the app would never show that the air quality rating was reaching excellent, in auto mode they mentioned that it would do a good job of clearing out the smoke in the room relatively quickly. The most important feedback, at least for me, was that they did notice a big improvement to the overall smoke smell and cleanliness of the air in the morning when opening the shop in comparison to before having the unit. This gives me a high level of confidence that this will be greatly enhanced in a small room like mine, which will often see only a cigar or two on occasion throughout the week, and only for an hour or two at a time. The Rabbit Air unit looks really stunning with its really sleek modern design, customizable mood light, and I like that for how well it performs, it's not very bulky or massive in size, and it can even be mounted right onto the wall itself. It comes with an app that's optional to use, but I like that it has all the controls you'd need right on your phone, synced up, where you can turn the unit on or off, adjust the fan speed, turn it from auto mode to on or off, and adjust the mood light color and settings. You can also monitor the air quality settings, which is very useful, but all of these settings are on the unit itself. Now, the filter should last about a year, but I would think that in a cigar lounge, the way it was seeing heavy use for many hours a day, every day of the week, it's probably more likely to get about 3 to 6 months of use before needing to be changed out. But for my indoor lounge here, I'm certain I could probably get more than 12 months out of it without any problems. There's a little maintenance needed, as I think a quick vacuum over the pre-filter, the medium filter, and the carbon charcoal filter is a really good way to extend the life of your filters and the Rabbit Air unit itself. It does have an option for negative ions with the Rabbit A3, which I like since that can help weigh down these smoke particles, but I've also heard that this option can make these particles attach more easily to surfaces like your walls and your ceiling. So time will tell if that is the case or to what extent it really may be an issue, but if needed, you can always just leave that setting off. Now, my smoking room is not very big at about 12 feet by 12 feet. So my plan, since it will just be me smoking in the room, is to purchase a really nice Herman Miller chair as my lounge chair of choice, and I will place it in the corner of the room near my window, and then install the Rabbit A3 mounted upside down on the wall. And this will pull the smoke that's nearest to the source, me, and maximize the odor control from the cigar smoke. But since I do not have an exhaust system for this room, I will have to close off the return air duct while smoking, which can easily be done with some of these magnetic vent covers, and also of course shutting the vent itself. But to avoid the smoke smell from getting into the rest of the home, I will also plan to purchase another Rabbit A3 and place it on the wall nearest to the return duct. That's to make sure that any air that does make it out of the room is scrubbed and purified as best as possible. Now lastly, I saw in another video of a home lounge setup that there's this nifty thing called a Purifan. So I will also plan to replace my ceiling fan with the Purifan to catch any excess smoke. And I feel this is a great option in case I should decide to have any guests smoke with me in this room as well. So I'm curious, if you have an in-home smoking room, let me know. I would love to get your advice and any feedback you have. So please let me know in the comments if there are any suggestions that you'd have for me with my current setup and my plans. And of course, to see more cigar related content, be sure to subscribe and like this video. I'm gonna go light up this Yagua now. I'll see you all at the next one. Take care.